Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about how to know your PC's architecture. So to check that, you have to open your File Explorer. For me, I'll do Windows key plus E, and I'll right click here and click on Properties. Now, the system type is what you should be concerned with. I'm having 64-bit operating system, x64 based processor, meaning I'm using a 64-bit operating system on a 64-bit based processor, which is very suitable. Unlike on some laptops where you'll be seeing something like this. Now you are seeing the system type 32-bit operating system, x64 based processor, meaning the person is using a 32-bit operating system on a 64-bit based processor, which is not all right. Okay, the problem with this setup is this. From the research I've made so far, I noticed that when you are using this 32-bit operating system on a 64-based processor, your system won't be able to utilize your installed RAM. This PC is using a 2 gig RAM. Let's assume it's a 4 gig RAM laptop or PC, whatever, and or let's say 16 gig, and you are using 32-bit operating system on this kind of processor. Your operating system will be able to use, let's say, 4 to 6 gig out of the 8, which is not okay because you got the 8 gig PC for a reason, and when it is using less than that for your everyday use, it's not all that okay for me. So the best thing is to get a 64-bit operating system on your 64-based processor, except in cases where your processor is a 32-bit based processor and your operating system is 32-bit. You don't have any issue with something like that. Though those laptops are not really in circulation anymore due to the period they were produced. Currently, what we have now are usually 64-based processors until something better than this comes out. For now, everybody is still using this, at least to the best of my knowledge. Then for this, if you are using 32-bit operating system and you want to change it to something like mine, to start using your 64-bit operating system on your 64-based processor, you have to get the right Windows for your PC and install it. So to get the right Windows, you have to go to your Chrome, and you can do this Microsoft Windows download, or you can go to their official website and click on, this is microsoft.com/english/us. The link is in the description below. So here you can see the options of the Windows available so far: Windows 11, Windows 10, 8.1, Windows 7. So one of the reasons why you need to know your PC's architecture is because when you are downloading software, you need to know the exact software you are downloading. If your Windows is 32-bit operating system on a 32-bit architecture, you need to download only 32-bit based software. If not, you won't be able to install it. If you are trying to download a 64-bit software for your 32-bit operating system, it won't allow you to install it. But if you are using a 64-bit operating system on a 64-bit architecture and you are downloading a 32-bit software, it will definitely work out well because your operating system is 64-bit, and 64-bit supports both 32-bit and 64-bit, unlike 32-bit that only supports 32-bit. Let's say you wanted to download something like this, Power ISO, and you click on their website. You are seeing 32-bit and 64-bit. If you are using a 32-bit operating system, you should go for this. If you are using a 64-bit, you can go for any of the two. Although I prefer using 64-bit on 64-bit. But if you are using just 32, never go for this. Otherwise, it will be a waste of your data, your time, and other resources. because if you download this, it won't allow you to install it. But if you are using 64-bit operating system, if you download any of these two, it will definitely install on your 64-bit operating system. So if you want to change your architecture from 32-bit to 64-bit, if your architecture supports the 64-bit operating system, you have to come to their official website or any third-party website to download from. I kind of had difficulties trying to download this guy. Let's use this for our example. So they said before you begin, upgrade, blah blah blah. Although for you to use Windows 11, you have to make sure your PC supports what's it called again? I've kind of forgotten. I think it should be listed somewhere around here. TMC. Yes, your PC should be able to accept TMC. Okay, it's not here. They should have written it here or something. Windows 11 only supports x64 devices, which is this. All this means is it only supports x64 based architecture, x64 based processor. This, if yours is just normal 32 bits, you won't be able to install Windows 11 on it, and even if it supports TMC, you still won't be able to do it. So for Windows 11, you can only use x64. Then okay, this is loading. Let's say I want to download Windows 8.1. I'll select my edition, Windows 8.1, confirm, wait for it to validate your request. Then you choose your language, United States, confirm, and now you are being presented with this 64 bits for a system that has 64 based processor or architecture, and then 32 bits if it is only on 32 bits based. So if you are doing this for 64 bits based processor, it's not quite alright, because your operating system won't be able to utilize the full power of your PC, your RAM, and every other stuff. Let me show you 32 bit processor on 32 bit processor, 32 bit operating system. Let's see, I just need images. This kind of setting, you usually see it on older PCs and mostly Windows 11. Sorry, Windows 7. Okay, not this. No. This is, oh no. This is okay. So this is a 32-bit operating system. As you can see, this doesn't have the comma x64 to tell you that it's a 64-bit based processor. So this is an entirely 32-bit operating system. So if you have a machine like this, you have to download this. Even for Windows 7, Windows 10, you are downloading this for it. But if you have something similar to mine, you don't need to download the 32 bits, just go for the 64 bits. If you're having something like this, please don't even waste your time downloading 32 bits. It has to be able to utilize your installed RAM and every other thing. For this, you choose your 64 bits. If you're using something like mine, you start the download and install the Windows on your PC. If you want to download software, you can still go for your 64 bits. If you want to conserve data, you can go for the 32 bits. But if you are using something like this, please don't bother doing this or this. Just go for your 32 bits Windows and then go for your 32 bits software. Any software you want to go for, endeavor it is 32 bits, otherwise it won't run. So this is how to know your PC's architecture. See you in another video. Goodbye.